A time bomb waiting to explode. I once knew a woman living in North America, a devoted Christian. Her marriage was filled with suffering. Both she and her husband were highly educated, each held a PhD, yet peace and harmony were absent in their relationship. The husband was frequently angry, creating constant tension in their home. He became someone difficult to approach, like a time bomb always on the verge of explosion. His anger was intense, and he believed that his wife and children looked down on him because they avoided him. But in truth, they didn't despise him. They were simply afraid. Afraid that getting too close might trigger another outburst, they chose to stay away. One day, unable to endure the pain any longer, the wife contemplated ending her life. Before acting on this thought, she called a close friend to share her sorrow. That friend, a practicing Buddhist, had previously invited her to try meditation as a way to ease her suffering. But the woman always refused, saying she was a Christian and couldn't follow the path of the Buddha. That evening, upon learning of her friend's suicidal thoughts, the Buddhist gently said over the phone, "If you truly consider me your friend, I ask just one thing. Please come here and listen to a Dharma talk by my teacher, the one you've always declined. After listening, whatever you choose to do, I will respect it." The woman agreed. She came over and sat alone in the living room, quietly listening to a talk titled The Art of Reestablishing Communication. For over an hour, she sat in silence, and during that time, something within her began to shift. Insights arose. She realized that she too bore responsibility for the suffering in her marriage. Her avoidance had not eased her husband's pain, it had deepened it. Through the talk, she came to understand that in order to help her husband, she first had to learn to listen with compassion, a practice she had never been able to do during the past 5 years. Diffusing the bomb. After the talk, she was filled with renewed hope. She longed to return home and help her husband heal. But her Buddhist friend gently advised, "Not yet. Listening with compassion is a deep practice. You need at least a week or two to begin cultivating it within yourself." Then, she invited the woman to attend a mindfulness retreat. At the retreat, more than 400 people came together to eat, live, and practice as one body for 6 days. They trained in mindful breathing, walking, and sitting, bringing body and mind back into unity. They learned to gently embrace their own pain, to look deeply, and to speak and listen with loving awareness. The Christian woman committed herself wholeheartedly to the practice. For her, this wasn't a spiritual hobby, it was a matter of life and death. After the retreat, she returned home with a calm and loving heart. She was determined to help her husband release the emotional time bomb he had been carrying. She walked and moved slowly, mindfully, using each breath to nourish peace and compassion within herself. Her husband noticed something had changed. There was a stillness, a gentleness in her presence that had not been there before. That night, she quietly approached him and sat beside him, a gesture she hadn't made in 5 years. She sat in silence for a long time, then softly placed her hand on his and said, "My dear, I know that for the past 5 years, you have suffered deeply. I see it now, and I know that I have been a big part of your pain. I didn't know how to comfort you. In fact, I made it worse. I've made many mistakes, and I deeply regret them. Please give me a chance to begin again. I truly want you to be happy, but I didn't know how to help. I only made things darker between us. I don't want this suffering to continue. Please help me. Help me to understand you better, to love you better. Tell me what's in your heart, your deepest pains. I know you've suffered greatly. Please let me understand so I don't hurt you again. I can't do this without you. I just want to love you." Her husband broke down in tears, crying like a child. For years, he had only heard bitterness and blame from his wife. Their conversations had been filled with tension and harshness. Not once, in all those years, had she spoken to him with such tenderness and love. Seeing him cry, she knew there was hope. His heart, which had long been shut tight, was beginning to open. She remained very mindful, breathing gently, and then said softly, "Please, tell me everything that's in your heart. I want to treat you better. I don't want to repeat the same mistakes." Both were intellectuals, both held doctoral degrees, yet for years they had suffered simply because they didn't know how to listen with compassion. But that night, for the first time, the wife practiced deep listening with a loving heart. And that simple act became a powerful medicine, healing not only her husband, but herself. Within just a few hours, the two of them were truly reconciled.